Hey folks, this is Fluz again here, and I'm just kind of screwing around today, doing a bunch of oddball ends of things, taking some time off, and I nearly need to do like a podcast. I sort of did a podcast a while back, but I have to formalize it and put together, and maybe I'll just do a video series, maybe a video series about stuff that I'm either working on or doing, kind of on the side for fun. One of the things I really love doing is this. Not so much the book per se, but barbecue. This is an old Better Homes and Gardens book my mom had at her house with some classic barbecue goodness in it. And I've been really kind of crazy into barbecue for probably about, oh, look at this. Like everyone, let's take some time out and look at that great image there. And then amazing, look at that mutated steak. Um, oh, we're making noise. We're making noise. Sorry about that. Anyways, barbecue is a lot of fun. I never barbecue like this, where you see all that meat on there. I mean, who barbecues like that? That's just crazy. I'm not doing that per se, but barbecue is a lot of fun for me. And if you follow me on Facebook, you'll see tons of food photos all the time of me barbecuing. And again, it's just mostly experimentation. I mean, look at that. That's impressive. I don't have one of those either. Um, Along the same lines of barbecue, I also do Big Kitty Labs, which is a rapid proto house here in town where we're doing, how do I explain it really? It's basically like, me and my partner Tishar, we got together in 2009 and we just started making stuff, mostly hacks and different concepts and everything. And then we made a bunch of apps ourselves, and then other people asked us to start making stuff for them. And like barbecue, it's sort of mass experimentation at times. But the end goal is to basically make stuff as fast as you can in order to get in front of real users and investors. Well, a couple reasons. One, you make the concept to sort of get belief on the table, so that people actually believe that you are going to be able to do something. So many people in startups, even myself, Tushar and I, we could spend 6 months thinking about a concept or idea without ever actually making it. Um, and we sort of wanted to change that equation. Just like barbecue, again, it's probably a bad connection or metaphor, but you just got to get into it. It's kind of just get started. You are going to screw it up. It's going to fail. I don't know how many times I've failed barbecue. I really failed last weekend on making a brisket. I really, really did not make a good brisket. I made like shoe leather brisket, which I don't think there's even a recipe for shoe leather in here. I'm pretty sure there's not, but I would be there. And we also made a lot of failures in terms of startup concepts. But along the way, we made a lot of cool things as well. And I think in some ways you have to make the bad things in order to see the potential and the good things you can make. Ooh, look, it's a big cheese chart. My wife would love this. Just many different types of cheeses. Um, so yeah, so we started this thing and we started making concepts and we started helping out other folks. And I've talked at a couple different startup weekends about the process that we kind of use, which is it's really just sort of let's get your stuff out of your head as fast as you can and let's start making something. And then as we make it, we sort of get iterative, sort of feedback and we get closer and closer. I can't tell you how rewarding it is to make stuff, though. I mean, that's a huge thing to actually go away from the business plan and actually throwing your concept together and seeing it, get some light is awesome. It's the same thing again with barbecue. Like I can only think about what the rub and what the meat is going to do for so long. Eventually, I'm just going to cram those two items together and put it on the grill and go. And everyone's going to say you should always try to cook the best or you make the best meal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, sure, we all want to make this pretty, awesome, spectacular meal. And I feel like in some ways you need to sort of earn it. You need to work up to it. And now we're at a process where we can make this crazy hot dog really pretty quick because we learned how to do it. In the beginning, I would say we would have totally screwed up on all this. and we did. But it's okay because we figured out how to make it better and go from there. Um, right now, everybody's a cook at the moment. There are so many people making concepts, and we're talking to people. Columbus has really picked up. I think Columbus has really picked up with a lot of sort of enabled dreamers to make things happen, and that's cool. There's probably a pretty heavy split between iPhone and Android right now, with people sort of wanting to build on both concepts, platforms. Windows 7, not so much. I don't think that's going to be promising for a while just yet. There's a lot of iPad, thought. I think there's a lot of people thinking about what they could do on the iPad. Sometimes the bigger screen real estate of the bigger screen, and sort of better understanding the context of use for the iPad. And since it's not going to be something exactly you're going to slip in the back of your pocket and carry it around or whatnot, changes some of the dynamic as far as how people approach to it to create things. In some ways, the iPad budgets go kind of crazy because they think, wow, I could do everything, So I haven't seen as much iPad development probably in the last 9 months, but a lot of iPhone. This whole, iPhone and the web backend, lots of that going on, lots and lots and lots. Some mobile web, not so much. I think mobile web. There's a lot of advocates for mobile web, like it's more universal, it's yada yada, et cetera, et cetera. Mainly it's because it's cross-platform, and everyone thinks cross-platform is super sexy, and it is in netting a lot of users, I guess, are being open to the fact that your users can be anywhere and anyone can use it. By the way, I really love this thing. If you ever see this at a garage sale, get it for me. The wooden spoon, and I don't know what's in there, but it looks really yummy. And this could be chicken or some kind of lamb or something, but it looks beat up, At least my tomatoes would never stay firm like that; they would fall apart. But yeah, I think mobile web. It sounds awesome, and it gets better every year when they integrate more and more sort of technology into the browsers, so the browser can access the GPS, it can access accelerometer, it can access the camera, stuff like that. That all definitely gets better, but there's still a big play to get into the App Store, and the main reason I think for that is basically it's real estate. Basically, I think you should be anywhere your customer, or especially if you're a brand, is going to think about you. So if they think about you and they look for you in the App Store and you don't exist in the App Store, you failed. It's sort of, you don't exist in the search engine. And right now the App Store, in my opinion, is a search engine. It's a search engine for, hey, are you there? Do you have something? So you should definitely be in there. Look at those yummy hot dogs. Those are amazing. These salt shakers, that's awesome. Again, can't get enough of good old barbecue. Ham barbecue. I've done ham barbecue before, and what was it? It was like ham steaks. I think I grilled that last year. That was kind of crazy. I love these old books. Old books. Oh, other things going on. So a lot of this cloud stuff. So again, we build something here, it's in the cloud, and it talks to this thing over here, and it goes back and forth. A lot of API magic lately. That's all good. People love that. Accelerated timelines are coming at us left and right. Everybody wants to turn around a product in 7 days or less, and that's not really reality. For as much as we like to think we can do it, big kitty, 7 days isn't really reality. Most cases, we're talking about 3 months to really make something, good for folks. And it depends on how much we're weighing in on what's built. Like if a lot of technology is already built, then obviously we're just kind of coming in and we're going to build this piece, we're going to build this piece, or build this piece. We're not going to build everything. For a lot of folks, though, really the majority of our clients are folks who don't have anything. I mean, they haven't even barbecued yet. They don't even know what meat they're going to get. They don't know what kind of sauce. They just know they want to have a great picnic, a party at the end of the week. And you have to kind of figure that out. And sometimes those are a lot of fun. Sometimes those aren't, in the sense that you can get lost and dream a lot. on what it could be without ever kind of hitting a nail on the head. And those are projects that you learn on. Now, you could say, hey, why don't you do a lot of research to figure that out? I agree, except no one's going to really pay for that, not typically at least. More guerrilla research is useful in terms of just kind of talking to users and getting some quick key points and then talking about the context of experience and what you may make. That is definitely something we want folks to do. And I think some folks do it to an extent. They don't really do it probably as robust as they should. But it's almost, it's really, you're sort of geared around this prototype, the MVP space. The MVP space is the, minimum value product. Let's get this concept out. In fact, I really like the MDE, which is the minimum desired experience, something that IDEO sort of coined a while back, which I think is really cool. It's like, what is the minimum experience this product, this camp stew needs to be? What's the minimum it needs in order to sort of convey what it could be or what it should be, and get belief on the table from all sides, users, investors, and of course internal team morale in the sense it goes. I can't really stress enough how important it is to get belief on the table in terms of when we make something. It just propels the momentum. You leave, like, you're not talking about making this meal anymore because you actually have it on the grill. It's cooking, you know what I mean? And you're tasting it every 4 hours. Or you're cutting that slice off and thinking, this is pretty good. That is huge. More startup concepts, folks need to get into that space and really go after it. They really need to. And don't sort of fear rejection, don't fear failure, because you are going to fail. So just get ready for it. What else do we have? Trying to think what else is going on in the land of Big Kitty. The only thing that sucks about some of this stuff for me is that we spent so much time building stuff for other folks. I haven't been able to get back to the table on some of my own concepts, and that's kind of a drag. But I need to do that. Look at this: beef rib roast, the round steak, beef tongue, short ribs. I did short ribs a couple weekends ago. I did a coffee rub, but they were pretty tasty. I need to do them again. These salt shakers here are really amazing. Look at that, like a little stick on them, so you like hold them in a bowl, so you're like ha ha. Those are kind of cool. Where's the ham section or the pork? The ham section. That's a section my wife would like. Let's just turn to the page about ham. Lately I've been talking about capacity just because there's so much going on for those super yummy ribs. I might do that for this weekend for some folks. I haven't decided. Here we go. Pork cuts for the barbecue. I look at charts like this and I think this is like a startup. All these different little things could be made. What could you make? Everything's better with bacon. That's probably the VC of meats, bacon. You know what I mean? Everything's better with investment. It's so true. Everything is better with investment. If we just had a little more investment, we'd be better. And of course, you don't realize how much you may have to give away for that investment. But in general, a lot of folks are looking for investment. In terms of Columbus, I don't know. Tech Columbus is still sort of our spearheaded, old father in terms of getting capital and organizing capital and whatnot. But this 10X thing out of OSU is looking really promising as well. And there's other folks in town sort of working on incubator concepts and investment. There's a lot of times we get asked to work for equity, and I just haven't done it yet. Mainly because two things, and I'm sure my friends Nick and other people out there would probably disagree with me on things, but in some ways it messes up the equation of getting work done. The minute I take equity on something, I really want to have more say about what potentially it should be direction-wise. And if you are looking to get a hired gun to come in and sort of fix your meal for you, or for your the best metaphor I gave somebody was like, you're going to pay somebody to come and fix your bathroom, right? If you do equity deal with that guy, he's going to redesign your bathroom, and you're going to be like, whoa, or he's going to want to have opinions about your bathroom. And sometimes you don't want opinions, you just want to get this thing done. Take my pork arm steak and cook it to perfection. That's what I want you to do. Sometimes equity messes that up. And And one of the big things I really believe in is that ideas are really sort of agnostic. They sort of they don't really care whether or not you make them or not. If you make them, that's sweet. If you don't make them, that's fine, because they'll go and be the muse for somebody else, and somebody else will make them. And so while you're sort of fighting over equity and fighting over how things get done, time slips, and the ability to make this wonderful piece of meat slides as everyone's sort of debating on how to make it the right way. And 3 months go by, 6 months, whatever, and you've lost it. If you have an idea and you don't act on it within 6 months in this market, really, or 3 months, next get another idea, because that idea is already out and someone else is going to pick it up. And don't whine about later when someone else does it, because that's the way this whole market works. People are always taking inspiration from each other. Everyone's sort of playing around with concepts. It's just the way this thing works. All right, so that's all I have for you on my barbecuing Big Kitty metaphor. Again, I love barbecue, love Big Kitty. It's a lot of fun. And I'm in a situation where it sort of works out pretty well. And we have a great team. We have great developers, exceptional developers, who can totally carry kick-ass stuff. And we just have a great crew. I really appreciate that. So if you've got a concept and you're thinking about something and you're making it, I meet folks every week. Meet them at Panera here in town. We meet at Bethel Panera pretty quite often. And if you have an idea and you're thinking about, boy, I'd like to see this thing come to life, look us up. Let's talk. If anything, we can talk about barbecue if it doesn't work out. That's all I can say. All right.